WWE replacement for Liv Morgan as Women's Tag Team Champion. NXT star Jada Parker is quickly establishing herself as one of the future female stars of WWE. Despite playing heel on NXT, she's managed to win over the crowd with her ultra charisma and explosive moveset. Perhaps on the verge of a main roster call-up, placing her directly in the Judgment Day team alongside Raquel Rodriguez could strap the proverbial rocket to her back. It may seem like an unlikely option, but it's one that could result in a new star being born overnight. Click the next page button below for more. WWE replacement for Liv Morgan as Women's Tag Team Champion. Another name from NXT who could step into the role alongside Raquel Rodriguez as Women's Tag Team Champion is Jordynne Grace Point, one of the best in-ring workers in WWE. The former Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion already has experience in the tag division. With little need for a developmental run given her extensive background, Morgan's unfortunate injury could be the perfect moment for a full-time call-up. It may seem like a long shot, but pairing her with Rodriguez would create an exciting powerhouse tag team. WWE replacement for Liv Morgan as Women's Tag Team Champion. On the June 16 edition of Raw, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan suffered a shoulder injury during a match against Kairi Sane. Morgan dislocated her shoulder and will require surgery, ruling her out of action for several months at minimum. With Nikki Bella returning, a major match had been rumored for the upcoming all-women's WWE Evolution, pitting the Bellas against the Judgment Day duo of Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the latter team's WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Now the question is, who could step in to replace Morgan and defend the titles alongside Rodriguez? 5. Alexa Bliss. If WWE is looking for a big-name star to replace Liv Morgan as Women's Tag Team Champion and face the returning Bellas at Evolution, few fit the bill more than Alexa Bliss. Massively over with the WWE audience, she currently lacks any obvious direction, and despite seeds being planted with Charlotte Flair and speculation about joining the Wyatt Six, nothing has materialized. A move to Raw to team with Raquel Rodriguez would be embraced by fans and provide a big enough name to headline against the Bellas. Could we see Bliss soon step in as one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, WWE replacement for Liv Morgan as Women's Tag Team Champion? While several WWE women's stars could fill the role, there's arguably only one likely choice: Roxanne Perez, brought into the Judgment Day faction by Finn Balor. Having Perez take on the tag titles with Raquel Rodriguez would fit the ongoing storyline of the faction's slow breakdown. Perez would benefit from the spotlight of a big-time match with the Bellas, while establishing further justification for a feud with Liv Morgan upon her return. Don't be surprised if Perez becomes one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions in the coming weeks on Raw. WWE Women's Tag titles are not expected to be vacated as of now. Recent developments of storylines do not mean that the Women's Tag Team Championship will be vacated in the near future. The champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, still have the gold quite safely in their hands, despite a severe shoulder injury that Liv sustained on Raw. However, there has been backstage drama and speculation over it, and as such WWE has reacted to the future of the belt. On June 16, an episode of Monday Night Raw, a one-on-one match between Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane ended with Morgan in excruciating pain because of the dislocated shoulder. The fight was stopped and doctors ran to the ringside. Fans were on the edge despite the live announcement because Liv and Raquel had been paired since April 21 to receive the women's tag team titles. Tag belts stay put for now. Although there have been rumors that the titles were stripped, WWE sources, WWE insiders, and more reliable sources such as PW Insider have confirmed that there is no actual plan to vacate the titles. The company would allow Morgan time to recover, and Raquel Rodriguez is ready to hold the tag team in good stead. A former busted open superstar proposed that Morgan could still tour with the team and make her on-screen appearance, but still rehab. This rhetoric became intense as self-proclaimed experts such as Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer were on the spot with their own assumptions that the championship may turn vacant since the recovery process of Liv may fall during the summer. However, WWE Backstage sources who talked with a little more restraint responded that this is just a worst-case scenario. As Evolution Premium Live event and SummerSlam are approaching in the future, it hardly appears that WWE is interested in title continuity. It can take Morgan months before returning to action, perhaps even 16 weeks as suggested by Meltzer, but WWE is certain that the tag team can hold on to the belt till then. This is because Raquel is ready and WWE is flexible with the storylines, so they can switch creatively without depriving the belts. WWE veteran Rey Mysterio reveals why he's never made a full heel turn. Rey Mysterio is undoubtedly a living legend, an athlete who has pushed his limits throughout his career and inspired an entire generation of people. When he made his WWE debut, no one thought he could succeed in a company dominated by giants, but Rey never stopped believing in his talent and became one of the best wrestlers of all time. Injuries are affecting the last part of his glorious career, but the masked luchador has no intention of giving up and is working hard to return to the ring as soon as possible after the injury that prevented him from performing at WrestleMania 41. The former world champion was supposed to face El Grande Americano in what could have been his last participation in the Showcase of the Immortals, but a physical problem prevented him from being present in Las Vegas and is forcing him to a tougher recovery path than expected. Rey has been a constant babyface. Mysterio has already fulfilled all his dreams, including working alongside his son Dominic, who has become a staple within the WWE roster despite huge skepticism about him when he joined the promotion. Rey helped his son grow up, but he was never an overwhelming presence and always allowed him to make his own choices. Just like John Cena, Mysterio has also been a babyface for almost his entire career. In a long interview with WrestleZone, the former world champion explained why he never felt the need to become a heel. They would really have to push me to the edge. I mean, even my wife says I never see you get mad at anyone but me. Why do you not fight? You don't fight with anyone, but when you want to fight, you fight with me. So I mean, it would be very hard for me to get pushed. He also added, I think the only time that I've been closest to becoming a heel, or I guess we were just having fun 'cause that's how we were, is Filthy Animals. That has been the closest. Tommy Dreamer details how WWE handles injuries differently, in light of Liv Morgan. Read more. https://www.wrestling-inc.com/1892147/wwe-raw-liv-morgan-injury-different-tommy-dreamer/injuries are just part of the territory when you're a professional wrestler. And like any sport, some of those injuries might be minor or superficial, allowing a short recovery time, or it might become a long, sometimes permanent injury that adds a wrinkle to one's career. For WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan, her separated shoulder injury will put her on the shelf for quite some time, but with impending surgery followed by rehab, it won't be long before Morgan returns to her pinnacle position. Tommy Dreamer, who has had his fair share of career-damaging injuries, is thankful WWE and other promotions have changed their protocol on how they deal with injured stars right away versus dismissing the severity of what might become endangering to both their short-time and long-term health should they keep working through their injuries. Dreamer shared his thoughts on the matter, comparing his generation to today's on a recent episode of Busted Open After Dark. My generation is much different than this generation, Dreamer first mentioned. We had to go to work. We were not told no, and it's for the betterment of the performer, which WWE right on the spot, they have again continued to do right away. They stopped the match. We offer nothing but support. It's going to be a long, painful recovery, that's why she can't rush coming back. According to PW Insider reporter Mike Johnson, Morgan's shoulder injury will keep her off WWE programming for a lengthy amount of time. In the past, Morgan has had several shoulder injuries, including one in 2023 that kept her away from the squared circle for 6 months before she returned at the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match. When she came back, she initiated her revenge tour, which saw her replace Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, become Dominic Mysterio's newest squeeze, recapture the WWE Women's World, inaugural Women's Crown Jewel, and become a record-setting 4-time women's tag team champion, all within 1 year. Will Liv Morgan still be a member of the Judgment Day? For signs that she will no longer be one. Liv Morgan is a key member of WWE's heel faction, the Judgment Day, and is the reigning one-half of the women's tag team champions. However, Morgan is facing uncertainty following a legitimate injury she sustained during this week's edition of RAW. The former women's world champion faced Kairi Sane in a singles match on this week's episode of the Red Brand. During the match, Morgan dislocated her shoulder, and recent reports indicate that surgery is required. This will certainly sideline the Judgment Day member for an extended period, as it would mean scrapping the creative plans slated for her character. Further, this would also cause a shift within the Judgment Day's dynamics, especially since her relationship with members of the faction is already on thin ice prior to the injury.